Hello and welcome to my channel. If you would like to see how I slayed this wig, stay tuned. So a little history about me. I have been doing my own wigs and my own weaves since, I want to say, since the beginning of high school. So here are a few of my most recent wigs. I'm no professional. I learned on my own and I've used YouTube, and that's why I choose now to share the things that I've learned through my own experiences with you all here. So now I'm going to jump into how I made this wig. The wig that I'm using I purchased from Aliexpress from the vendor Tuneful Official. The length that I chose is 12 inches. The wig is pre-plucked with a 150% density. When I first received the wig, I was kind of disappointed because the reviews slightly gassed the wig. I thought I was going to receive something a little better than this. But as you can see, the hair is not the greatest, but it's also not the worst hair that I've ever used. So yeah, so I'm going to go into exactly how I styled this wig. And if you have any questions, please comment below and I'll answer them. Also, if you would like to see me install the wig and or get a review on the hair, please comment below. I'm going to begin by bleaching the knots. The bleach that I'm using is from Clairol's Professional, and the developer that I'm using is L'Oreal 30 Volume Developer. So to begin bleaching the knots, I've mixed the two together, and you really want to make sure you have a thicker consistency than this. This consistency was slightly too thin. It seeped through the lace and it overly bleached the hair. So you want to make sure that the consistency of the bleach and the developer is thick. This is how I then apply the bleach to the knots. I'm using a plastic spoon. Normally I would use a plastic knife, but we ran out of those. So I'm going to continue placing the bleach on the knots to cover the entire frontal. Once I'm done applying the bleach to the knots, I'm going to allow this to sit for about 20 to 25 minutes and then rinse it out with a 𝘤𝘶𝑵𝘯𝘯𝘕 shampoo and conditioner. So this is the wig once I rinsed out the bleach. As you can see, I ended up bleaching the hair by accident, and this was because the consistency of the bleach in the developer was too thin. Moving on to the next step, I'm going to now cut the hair into a bob. So to begin doing so, I'm going to first straighten the hair so that I get a more precise cut. Mark off exactly the length that I want. I'm going to wear it and then cut it to exactly where I want it on my face. Yeah, so about this short. So I'm going to just cut this part and this part. Both sides I'm going to just cut it right here and right here. So now that I have the length that I want, I'm going to now begin cutting the hair with clippers. To begin, I'm just going to kind of trim off the hair to make it as even as the two previous pieces that I cut. And then you'll see that I start parting the hair to get a more precise, even cut. Okay, so now I'm using this. Okay, so I'm reaching the top and I went ahead and I parted the hair exactly where I would normally wear my wig, which is a side part. So if you're doing a side part or a middle part, I would suggest before cutting the top of the hair, part it in the desired style and then begin cutting the rest of the hair. The next step is to lift the color of the entire wig. So now I'm going to be bleaching the entire wig using 3 packets of the bleach along with the same 30 volumes of 𝘤𝘪𝘵𝘯𝘯𝘦𝘤𝘵𝘦𝘥. I also went ahead and prepared a few pieces of aluminum foil, which I'm going to be using as I begin bleaching the entire wig. To begin this process, I'm parting the hair and I'm going to be starting from the bottom and then I'm going to work my way to the top of the wig. Now that I've reached the frontal part of the hair, I'm making sure not to reapply the bleach on the parts of the hair that I accidentally bleached when I was bleaching the knots. Once I apply the bleach to the entire wig, I'm going to allow the color to lift for about 30 to 35 minutes. After 30 to 35 minutes, I then rinse out the bleach very, very thoroughly. And then after that, I apply the 𝘤𝘰𝘯𝘯𝘦𝘤𝘵 shampoo and conditioner very generously to the hair. And then I rinse that out and allow the hair to air dry. I'm using the watercolor method to dye the hair with boiling hot water. And then I'm going to mix in the 𝘸𝘪𝘵𝘩 dye in the color cinnamon. Using just one bottle of this dye, and now I'm going to begin mixing in the dye. And I would say to mix the dye for about 1 to 2 minutes just to make sure that the dye is properly mixed. If you don't properly mix the dye with the water, chances are you will stain your lace. I have it all mixed up. I'm going to put in the wig, which you see me dipping in and out. I'm then going to comb the wig to make sure that it's getting on the whole wig. And then I'm going to put it back in, take it out, comb it again, and then I'm going to allow it to sit for 5 minutes. In just 5 minutes, the entire wig should now be fully colored. So now I'm going to move on and rinse the hair. And then after rinsing the hair, I'm going to apply this conditioner. And I'm going to allow this to sit for about 5 to 6 hours. That's just my preference. If you'd like, you can have your conditioner sit for as long or short as you want it. After the conditioner sat for some time, I then air dried it, and this is how the hair looked once it was air dried. Now moving forward, I'm going to straighten the hair. I'm using no products to straighten the hair. Normally I would use a heat protectant, but I ran out of it. So right now I'm using no products. I'm not applying anything to the hair until I install it. So now, using the best method in the world, I'm using the iron to flatten out the top of the hair and also to get the flyaways to stay put. And that's it. The wig is all done. It's colored and cut. If you have any suggestions for future hair tutorials, please see the community tab. I'll be taking suggestions on what style I should do next. Also, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Thank you so much for watching and staying till the end.